Rising from the shifting sands of Normandy Bay stands a monument that appears less constructed than summoned. Mont Saint-Michel is not merely a building, it's a convergence of geology, engineering, faith, and human ambition. For more than 1,000 years, this tidal island has resisted storms, wars, erosion, and time itself. A stone citadel poised between earth and sea. Today we explore how this extraordinary structure was built, why it exists, and what it continues to represent. In the year 708, according to tradition, the Archangel Michael appeared to Albert, Bishop of Avranches, commanding him to build a sanctuary on this rocky outcrop. What began as a small auditory gradually evolved into one of the most ambitious medieval construction projects in Europe. Builders faced a problem few had ever attempted before. How do you raise a massive religious complex on top of a narrow, steep granite island surrounded by some of the strongest tides in the world? The solution was vertically. Instead of spreading outward, Mont Saint-Michel was built upward, layer upon layer. Like a stone mountain growing upon itself. At the lowest levels, storage rooms and defensive walls. Above them, living quarters, halls and chapels. At the summit, the Abbey, crowned by a spire rising over 150 meters above sea level. Medieval engineers used load-bearing stone vaults, thick buttresses, and precisely balanced arches to distribute weight downward through the rock itself. Every block placed was calculated to serve both structural and symbolic purpose. Unlike most medieval buildings, Mont Saint-Michel doesn't rely on deep soil foundations. It is anchored directly into solid granite. Builders carved terraces into the mountain, creating stepped platforms onto which structures could be bonded. Walls were keyed directly into the rock using stone dowels and lime mortar, forming a mechanical and chemical bond. This method transformed the island itself into part of the structure, not ground beneath the building, but the building's backbone. Most of the stone here is dense limestone quarried inland, transported by river and cart, then hauled up the mountain by human and animal power. Limestone was chosen for its balance of strength and workability. It can be carved precisely, yet hardens further as it cures. Mortar was made from lime, sand and water, a mixture that remains slightly flexible even centuries later. This flexibility allows microscopic movement without catastrophic cracking. In modern times, Mont Saint-Michel behaves less like a rigid block and more like a slow-breathing organism. The crown jewel of Mont Saint-Michel is its Gothic Abbey, often called La Merveille, the Marvel. Built primarily in the 13th century, it showcases pointed arches, ribbed vaults, and soaring vertical lines that draw the eye upwards towards heaven. Ribbed vaults channel weight into specific load paths, concentrating forces into columns and buttresses, rather than spreading stress randomly. This allowed medieval builders to construct higher, thinner, and lighter structures than ever before. There were no cranes as we know them today. Stone blocks were lifted using treadwheel cranes. Giant wooden wheels turned by men walking inside them. Ramps spiraled around the mountain, allowing material to be dragged upwards gradually. Each stage of construction required its own temporary infrastructure, which was later dismantled as the next level rose. Mont Saint-Michel was not built in the continuous campaign. It grew across centuries, adapting as engineering knowledge evolved. Mont Saint-Michel was never just a place of prayer. During the 100 Years' War, it became an impregnable fortress. Thick ramparts, narrow access points, and elevated artillery positions transformed the abbey into a defensive stronghold. The walls curve rather than run straight, deflecting projectiles and dispersing impact energy. Even its beauty serves as a defensive purpose. Across the English Channel stands a smaller but closely related counterpart, St. Michael's Mount. Both tidal islands are directed to the Archangel Michael. Both rise dramatically from the sea. Both functioned as monasteries, fortresses, and pilgrimage sites. Their shared dedication reflects a medieval belief in the sacred high places, elevated points where heaven and earth feel closest. Together they form a symbolic pair, linking England and France through faith, legend, and stone. For centuries, sediment carried by river slowly filled the bay around Mont Saint-Michel. By the 20th century, the mount was in danger of becoming permanently disconnected from the mainland, losing its island identity. Engineers built a dam on the Cousonnon River that periodically releases powerful flushes of water, scouring sediment away. A raised bridge replaced the old causeway, allowing for tides to circulate naturally beneath. The sea was given back its access. This restoration required an investment of €200 million, not merely to preserve a monument, but to protect a national symbol. At the summit of Mont Saint-Michel stands a gilded statue of Saint Michael, defeating the dragon, a symbol of good overcoming evil. Mont Saint-Michel endures because it represents more than stone and mortar. It represents human determination. Faith shaped by architecture. Engineering guided by belief. 1,000 years on, it still commands the horizon, not as a relic of the past, but as a living monument to what humanity can achieve when vision, skill, and purpose align. Thank you for watching. If you got this far, please consider liking and subscribing. It really helps the channel grow. To date, I've made £45 from YouTube AdSense. Your help and support really goes a long way. Thanks.